Hey there, viewers. Welcome back to Rd Trades. Today we are going to be installing a battery equalizer. Didn't even realize I needed one of these until I noticed that one of my batteries, long story short, the cart was installed, somebody else wired it, they tapped off of one of the batteries to make for the 12 volts. So I have four 12 volt batteries making up 48 volts. Somebody tapped off a single battery, one of the lithium batteries, and it was constantly drawing off of there. So when the battery charger would kick on, it was trying to reach 48 volts, and since some of the other batteries could go above their normal capacity, it would actually shut off the charger, and that one battery would never get a full charge because it was lower than the rest of them. So I bought a 12 volt charger and I charged all of them independently and was able to get all of them to come back. Now they're balanced. But when I contacted the company, they had asked, did I install a battery equalizer? And of course my answer was no. I didn't even know that I needed one. But this is for lithium and for lead acid batteries. Several different manufacturers out there, and basically its purpose is to make sure that all batteries are, well, equal, hence the name equalizer. It uses the other batteries to charge one of them that is, lower, so that they always stay at the exact same amount. These wires, super small, okay? That being said, because the wires are small, expect that the equalization process is going to take a while. There's not a whole lot of current flowing through these wires, so it takes a while. Just picture like a float charger, if you will. Not an immediate replenishment, so you're not going to expect it to take care of a battery that's actually bad. This is the idea that all batteries are good, all batteries are about the same, and its idea is to make them exactly the same over a float type principle or a very low current balancing type principle. So let's get this installed. This right here is the way that my batteries are. It's in a series configuration, 12 volt batteries each. So my negative goes to my positive, my negative goes to my positive, my negative goes to my positive, my negative completes the circuit. This right here is going to be the red and black wires, which is going to be just red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. Again, red being positive, black being negative. So here's my configuration. I'm not going to be changing any of the larger cables. All I'm going to be doing is identifying which one is negative and which one is positive on each one of the batteries. And we're going to be loosening up the connector and adding just this little ring terminal to it. Actually, that's a lot longer than I expected it to be. So all of these wires actually will reach where they have to go. I have 4 pairs of wires. I think the longest run's going to be back there. I might just have enough room. Nah, probably not. I think I'm going to have to leave this thing sitting right on top of the batteries. Potentially maybe even mount it to maybe this metal bar here, something like that. Just so it's not directly on the batteries. Maybe just zip tie it in place for this model. Number one, make sure that the run switch is in the toe position. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to leave all of this bracketry in place so that if I tuck a wire underneath a pass-through or something like that, I don't have to worry about, will it fit after I put it back together. So this actually helped me with my routing. Yeah, nothing left to do but get a wrench and get started. Okay, this red looking goo that you're seeing on top of here, that is a battery protector spray. So I just got a rag and we're going to wipe that stuff off. Let me put a pair of rubber gloves on. Okay. So I think I want my battery equalizer somewhere over here near my charging circuit. So let's maybe we'll place it like that so that all the wires leave in the same direction. I think if I do that, these wires here appear to be long enough. Go right under here. Looking at the way this one is done, I have a positive lead back here. Oh no. Well, that's the worst thing that just could have happened. Just broke the head off of the bolt. All right. Well, let me start getting stuff to get that out of there. I'll be back with you guys. All right, y'all, let's start with the sequence. First thing, let's put a reversible extractor centered. It's not budging though. Let's try some left-handed drill bits. Okay. Before I get too far, we need to mark that bit. Just in case we start getting close. I need to go just a little bit bigger. Still just a little bit bigger. For anybody keeping track, these are left-handed drill bits. That was a easy out, or excuse me, X out extractor. Now I'm going to try to use easy outs. It's not going to bite that way. I don't want to start hammering on it to drive it in because it's just not going to bite. And I hate that I'm getting so close. Still a little bit more. Golly. Got a little bit of a bite. That might be enough. Might be enough. Let's go. Go very carefully. It's a $200 battery, so it is on the cheaper side, but I really don't want to spend $200. There we go. Alright, why did you get locked in there? I mean, I see the very bottom thread has a kind of a flat spot there, but I don't really see anything that would have locked it in there. Why did it get damaged? Right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. We find a bolt that fits this and then start putting everything back together. I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm ready to start putting wires together. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully I don't have any more of those I have to do. All right, so this lead here goes back there. And then I had this lead here went back there. And then I'm gonna have one of these two leads going back there. So we said we're gonna put it that way. Need the red. Tuck under. Just like that. And then I also need this one. I don't know if you guys can see it. Basically, I'm just putting all the wires that were back there before back in there. Got a brand new bolt. And on my equalizer, I'm just putting red to red. So that's going to be the second half of this wire right here. I'm going to wait to get to this one because I'm going to start combining some of those wires together so that I don't have as many ring terminals underneath that one lead. So I'm going to leave this one here till the very, very end. The rest of them, though, I think we should be able to get. It doesn't really matter which one goes where as long as they're in pairs and that goes to the battery. Like the battery, right? So you're not doing two at once. So I'm going to go assemble my second battery. So let's take the black lead because I'm on the negative terminal. I'm on that same pair of wires to the same battery. So that pair is done. My next pair of wires, next battery, positive lead, negative lead. So positive lead first. Now the negative lead. Coming back, just make sure that I'm still on that same third input. Next battery. This is the negative side. It's pretty easy to install as long as you don't break a bolt off in a battery. I can tell you when I contacted the company when I was suspecting the battery being bad, that was the very first question they had. So that kind of tells me that if you're going to ever try to get like a warranty work or something like that, like a warranty replacement, I'm sorry, that wasn't the very first question. The very first question is, where's your receipt and order number? I don't know. Stuff like that bothers me a little bit, because if you're making a product, I would think that you would warranty the product, not necessarily who purchased it. A builder built this cart, and he's the one who, well, he, she, whoever, they're the ones who bought the batteries. So I don't have a receipt for the batteries. But like I said, that was the very first question they had, I guess, so that they could get out of it. I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's possible that they were, looking to see like what was the generation of it or whatever else. But I would have guessed if you're asking that question, you would have asked like, what's the serial number? Not, hey, if you're not the buyer, we're not going to help you. Not crazy about that part. Kind of speaks to the company. I mean, they're selling $200 lithium batteries. That's the first clue, right? So I want to combine some of these wires so I don't have so many. I guess my Matco light said it was done. Guess it said it was tired, because it just shut off. The old pull test. There's a lot of wires going underneath one terminal. Well, it's still got 3 threads showing, and it's got a lock washer on it, which will compress a little bit. Seemed to bite hold pretty well. So this right here, the 4th one over, both sides of this battery, positive and negative. And the very last wire that I wanted to connect, I need to get another light so we can both see. And we are going to connect a couple of these wires together. Probably these two, because they both feel kind of small. I put these gloves on so that I wouldn't get that battery corrosion fluid stuff all over my hands, and I hate not having dexterity to be able to feel what's going on. So that was a mistake. I've got 3 threads just like up here on the positive one. I've got all the wires hooked up, everything set up where it belongs. Pulled out a thermal imager so that I can see what's going on. I see that the box itself is pretty warm. Just check to see. All right, so this one here is a little bit warmer than the rest. And actually this one here is a little bit warm, and that one's a little bit warmer than the rest. That one is 25 Celsius. So about 2 degrees or a degree and a half Celsius higher than the others. This one is 25.2. This one is 26. So this one actually here is a little bit hotter than the rest. So that box is doing something. All right, 13.33. $13.34, 13.32, 13.32. So my guess, it's trying to do something, but that is literally to a 100th, right? So 13.3, that the second 0.3 would be the tenths, and then 13.32, the 2 is in the hundredths place. So it's actually trying, it looks like it's trying to calibrate to the hundredths place. Should kind of make sense. I mean, it's just trying to equalize. So 13.32, 13.32. It's also depending on how accurate my meter is. 13.32, 31. 13.32. So it's doing its thing. What I am going to do is check it in a couple of hours. I mean, it's not warm to the touch. That thermal imager actually, I mean, picked up just any differences in temperature. I'm going to find a better way to mount that. Possibly some double-sided sticky tape, something like that. Not sure on the wiring. I would have liked to run it just a little bit cleaner of an install, but the leads weren't that long. It would have been nice if they just gave you all the crimp connectors and some flying, 5-foot long pigtails, and then you could have cut it to size. Those things would have been nice. Let's just flip this to the run position and we're back in business. We'll call it good. It's going to take me a couple weeks to process this video. If I see something wrong in the process, I'll keep checking this, because I'm kind of very particular when it comes to lithium batteries. And I obviously don't want to break down somewhere either. I'll come back and check this thing, and I'm also going to run it a little ways and try it again. If I see any problems, I'll come back to the video and correct them. Otherwise, yeah, super easy. Next time I have a problem and they say, hey, do you have an equalizer installed? I'll say, absolutely, I sure do. But I am going to keep an eye on this thing while it's equalizing and doing its thing. Probably park it outside. So for the time being, hope you guys got something out of the video. Really appreciate you hanging out, and I'll catch you on the next one.